Hi Lucy, it is Wednesday, which if you can't tell, I'm actually recording this on Monday, but we're going to pretend like that's not true. Anyway, I just rewatched your little discussion on Asylum of the Daleks, and I took notes. Since I can't edit, I have to actually be prepared with what I am talking about before I start recording. So I've got on my 10th Doctor-y glasses, which I like to wear these anytime I talk about Doctor Who because it gets me in the feel for it. And these are real glasses, by the way, just in case you were wondering. I do actually wear glasses, but they remind me of the 10th Doctor's glasses. So moving on from that, we are talking about the 11th Doctor, not the 10th Doctor, with the season premiere episode Asylum of the Daleks, which I loved the episode. I heard yesterday, I believe it was, that some people didn't like the episode. I don't understand why, because I thought it was fantastic, but apparently some people didn't like it. I don't know why, but whatever. Entitled to your opinion, even if it may be wrong. So first off, we are talking about the concept of the episode, which I totally agree with you. I loved the fact that they took something that has been on the show many times, which is the Daleks. They have been around pretty much since the start of the show, and they took something that's been around so long and kind of made it new. They did something different, and I really liked that. So totally agree with you on that. I loved the concept of the asylum and how it was still the Daleks, but it was a new kind of Dalek that we haven't seen before, which is the crazy Daleks. And the concept of crazy Daleks is terrifying to me because we all know how sane Daleks act. So to think that a Dalek can go insane is very concerning to me, and also makes me wonder what insane is to a Dalek, because I would think that insanity in the Daleks' perspective would be showing emotion, because they're not supposed to have emotions. So to me, that would be what insanity would be to a Dalek, would be if you had emotions. But I think they might have mentioned that at a short portion in the episode. The Doctor mentioned something about why they were sent to the asylum, but it was a very small part. It wasn't a whole lot of discussion on it, but that would have to be my outlook on the whole thing, which I, like I said, find it terrifying that there are insane Daleks. So going off of that, the human Daleks, I have to say, I liked these human Daleks a lot more than the previous attempt at human Daleks, because they just looked like regular people, which probably had something to do with the fact that the Doctor kind of screwed up the Daleks' plan in that episode and threw in some of his DNA. So they weren't actually human Daleks. They were like a hybrid human Dalek Time Lord creature. But these were legit human Daleks, and I really liked them. They were cool and so creepy, because the idea that a person could be a Dalek and you wouldn't know because they look and act like regular people was very disturbing. Very disturbing. So I really liked that part of it. Next, we're going to talk about Amy and Rory. Oh, Rory. So you mentioned the part with the whole egg thing, and the entire time during that scene, I was yelling at him And I was just like, really, Rory? I'm like, you're so stupid. He is not saying egg. He is saying exterminate. I'm like, run away, run now, quickly, run. But Rory is just, he's so stupid sometimes. And it's nice to have someone on the show that doesn't know what to do all the time, because the doctor always has a plan, and Amy is starting to seem like she always has a plan. She's becoming very much like the doctor. It's a little scary. But Rory still is clueless the majority of the time, so it is fun to have a character like that on the show to keep it funny and interesting and all of that. He is definitely the comic relief of the show, I think. He is usually the funniest parts go to Rory and his cluelessness about everything. And going off of that, Amy and their relationship, there was a lot going on with their relationship in this episode, because it starts off saying that they are going to get a divorce, which of course we have no idea why this is happening initially. It's they are just in the process of getting a divorce when the episode starts. And as the episode goes on, we find out why they had broken up, and the doctor cleverly gets them to talk to each other and make up, which you mentioned that it seemed unrealistic that he fixed it so quickly, but I think it was just a good way of showing that the doctor can fix things very easily, if that makes sense. I mean, the doctor's just a genius, and he fixes problems. That should be his title, the doctor. I fix stuff. And I thought that showing how quickly he was able to fix their marriage was a good way of showing his abilities. And following up, we have the girl that turned out to be a Dalek. Alright, so you mentioned that she's supposed to be a companion. I didn't hear anything about this. Basically, in America, we don't hear about Doctor Who related things. It's just now becoming popular over here, and we get to watch it on BBC America, but we don't really, get updates or information or anything about it. So I didn't know anything about her being a companion, although I do have a comment on your thing about being confused as to her being on the show as a different character than who she's supposed to play later on. My follow-up to that is that Martha and Amy were both on previous episodes before becoming companions, so it seems to be a trend in the Doctor's companions that they play a character on the show before becoming a companion. And boy, was I confused when I was watching an episode of Doctor Who and I saw Martha and then she died. I had no clue what was going on, and then finally by the end of the episode I realized that it was the same actress, but she was playing a different character. I was so confused, but yeah. So it just seems to be a consistent thing that they do on Doctor Who, that they get the same actors to play different characters, and they work it out somehow that it's not confusing, and good for them, because I don't understand how they do it, but it's usually not confusing. But I was so confused when I saw that episode, because that was back when I was catching episodes here and there and wasn't watching them in order, so I was very confused as to what was going on. And the she's a Dalek portion, I kind of figured she was a Dalek from the beginning, because there was a lot of stuff that wasn't adding up about the whole thing, because at the very beginning you see her at the door, trying to block them from getting in, and it didn't seem to really make sense as to what was going on, so I kind of figured that she had been turned into a Dalek. What I didn't expect was that she had gone through a full conversion. I figured that she was made into a human Dalek. So I wasn't surprised that she was Dalek. I was surprised that she wasn't a human Dalek. So when he opened the doors and, he said, "Oh, they did the full conversion with you," I was surprised by that aspect of it, but not by the fact that she was a Dalek. So, yes. To end off, I commented on what you said, and I would like to make one comment of my own on the episode because you didn't discuss it, and it was my favorite part of the episode, which was the very end of the episode, the very, very end, which is when Asylum, I think is her name, something along those lines, deletes the Doctor out of the Daleks' memories. She hacks into their network and deletes him. So at the end of the episode, the Doctor goes back to the asylum and none of the Daleks know who he is. And they're like, identify yourself, and he goes, "I'm the Doctor, you know who I am." And all of the Daleks start freaking out, and they're like, Doctor Who! Doctor Who! And I love when they do that on episodes, because it's always funny, no matter how many times they do it. So all the Daleks are going, Doctor Who! Doctor Who! Doctor Who! And then the Doctor is like, "You'll never stop asking," and then gets in the TARDIS and leaves, and none of the Daleks know who the Doctor is anymore, which I'm interested to see how that goes on with, and that sentence started off so good and got dodgy there in the middle. I'm interested to see how that affects future encounters with the Daleks for the Doctor, because they seem to keep appearing. Every time he thinks that he's killed all the Daleks, there seem to be more stashed away somewhere. So I'm interested to see next time he encounters a Dalek if they will know who the Doctor is. And if they don't, I think that's going to be very interesting. So, yes, that's what I have to say about Doctor Who, Asylum of the Daleks, and I'm sorry this video is so long. I really wish I could edit. You guys probably do not appreciate my ability to edit videos, because if I couldn't edit, all of my videos would probably be this long. I cut a lot of stuff out of videos because I talk so much. So sorry about that. I'll try to do better next time and talk less, but I love Doctor Who and I tend to just keep talking, so sorry. And I'll stop now. Alright, bye. You will see me next week. Leave in comments if you want me to do videos on Mondays or Tuesdays, because I can't do, or Mondays or Wednesdays. I can't do videos on Tuesdays anymore. So tell me if you would prefer me to do videos on Mondays or on Wednesdays. I think Wednesday would probably work better for me, but I could probably do either. So probably Wednesdays would be more likely, but I could do them on Mondays too. So see you guys next week. I don't know what day, but I'll see you next week. You'll see me next week. I keep doing that.